Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Your camera and mics aren't. What? They're not what, Leo? No, they're good. We're here. We're here. Sometimes we get to talking. Sometimes we talk about each other's beards and then the outfit. And you know how us gals get before a show, you guys.
Getting all catty.
Oh, golly. Well, welcome, you guys. It is Tuesday. That means we are on actually one of my favorite sequence of numbers ever, episode 123 of the Doctor's Orders live stream on the Dr. Nick's Amazing Man Stuff YouTube channel. If you guys could, specifically today, hit the thumbs up on this stream, share the stream and or channel. This channel has a new commitment this year. We've obviously been committed. We've never missed an episode of the live stream. But we have a new commitment to providing new content for you guys and adding value, starting with a video on this channel dropping tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. And so you'll have to tune in to see Nick and what he's going to demonstrate and teach you about then. But if you guys can share the channel, if you guys can interact with it in any way, this is going to be a big year for growth of this channel, this community, and this company. And anything you guys can do to help, it's usually for free. You don't have to pay anything to be able to help out. And it does mean a lot to us. So thank you to everyone that's already supporting and already doing your thing, you guys. You're going to have some really great content from this guy over here. But with that said, we are here today on the Doctor's Orders live stream. This is a live stream where we pull back the curtain. We like the phrase long-form transparency, meaning you're going to hear from the owner. You're going to hear from the community, the people that love this company, for not just little clips, not just little snippets, but actually get to know the people, the soul, the vibes of this company. And we also go into things like tangents and talk about whatever the heck we want. And this year, today, we're going to talk about some things coming up this year, but also I think we're going to see a very special appearance of the Wheel of Tangents, the random Wheel of Tangents. So that is going to be on today. And with that said, you guys, somebody asked in the chat, what's on your head, Nick? And I should introduce who Nick is. First off, this is Mom right here. And then this is Nick. He is the black on black on black, murdered out.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. This is the founder, co-owner, the mustache with a plan, Mr. Nicholas Phelps himself. Nick, double bun in it. How you doing today?
Dude, better now. Like this is good. I must have hit a gypsy and didn't collect the tears yesterday when I was driving somewhere.
I said gypsy tears last night on stream.
I can't make this up. I would love to say that I got it from you last night, but unfortunately I was asleep last night while you were probably just getting through your intro.
Yeah.
So it seems like one of those days. It was one of just like, if you play darts, you're going for those 19s, all you can get is 3s and 2s and you don't want them. It's like it's a 3s and 2s kind of day up until now. It was one of those weird ones where I was just tripping over everything, and then large amounts of time went by and no progress on things. Oh. But right before the same thing started clicking, I busted out, got the video knocked out for everybody, got over the technical challenges of, we'll talk about that today too, by the way, iPhones, videos, selfie cameras, AirPods, ways around it. It's fun. I discovered something that I'm not sure people even realized what was going on. I didn't. But hey, we went from that, got into some bottling, got into some production. Next thing I know, things started kind of clicking, and here we are in the stream. And it seems to be going spectacular so far, 7 minutes in. So I would say that things are really looking up.
Leo loved that. He said his long form transparency good for beards. Mentally, yes. Physically, yes. No.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. It is not. Nope. It's a good mental state for the wearer of the beard, but not a good state physically for the beard itself.
So I am 2.5 years, and you're probably about 2.5 months, maybe, but I'm 2.5 years outside of drinking alcohol. So I don't drink alcohol. But when I used to go to the bar, aka the pub, with a group of buddies, and we would mainly do two things. We'd play pub trivia, and we were actually very serious about it. We went to the state championship one year, like real deal trivia.
Oh,
but
wow.
The second thing we would do is play darts. But we did not play traditional darts. We played across the bar darts. So normally you have a line, 10 feet away from the board or so. No, we'd go 100 to 150 feet away from the board, across a bar full of tables of people. And we became known for this. And like, actually, we weren't like annoying. We were like applauded. Like, we'd come in and people were like, are you guys going to do darts? And it turned into like this big show and this big event at this one specific bar, and was wildly dangerous. And we had a buddy who was wildly dumb, and we'd play the crossbar darts, and he'd put his hand, sometimes two hands, on the board, and we would throw these metal darts. It was crazy, stupid, but it happened.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was. I look back at it now, and I'm like, I threw this over like multiple tables full of people and was trying to hit my buddy's hand. Like, what?
That's pretty good, dude. What was it? What was the movie where someone caught a dart in the head? What movie was that?
I'm sure there's a few.
Okay.
But that's all I can think of. The only other thing I can think of with darts is the darts scene in Ted Lasso when he tells everybody, be curious, not judgmental. One of my favorite scenes in TV history.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one.
When he's playing, and he's like getting down to the bottom of it, and I forget what they were playing for, but it's like if he kept his job or he could make the lineup or something like that. And that was a great scene.
Yeah, I
Happy Gilmore, the nail.
Yeah. Happy Gilmore had the nail in his head. I remember. That's what I thought I was thinking of, and I was like, no, that was a nail, and it was like the big dude, his old construction boss. Yeah, I forget. But, I used to play a lot of darts.
Really?
And like, it's funny too, because I was thinking about just recently getting back into it. And I thought about the places where I used to, go and play darts all the time. And I would have to find like a new place to go play darts, because unless I was just not caring about where I was and it was just somewhere to go drink beers, I don't think those places would be my preferred place to go play darts.
Right.
Granted, I give zero craps about going to play darts in a bar even if I'm not drinking beers. That's fine. That's not so much the thing. It's just that, some of them really, really sucked and stank and were gross. So I think it's like some of those places I got to find more upscale dart establishments.
And they exist. I'm going to show something, and I don't think it's going to play any audio, so we should be all right. But darts has become modernized and like sports sized, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
They have some of the most entertaining dart competitions and experiences of the world. They have entrances like pro athletes like coming up to the plate. This guy has the most electric entrance in all of sports. He plays titanium and gets the crowd going. It's like, I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. And he's doing this with his hands. I think it should be all right here without getting anything going.
That's got audio.
Is it audio?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you get the idea, but look, and there's cheerleaders. There's smoke that goes. It's crazy. And to go play darts, and then they get crazy. They'll be like, he needs 3 19s to win, and he'll go bang, and he'll start playing to the crowd, bang, and he'll start playing to the crowd, get everybody in it, and then he hits it, and it's electric. It's darts. Electric.
Dude, that's hilarious, because like I've watched plenty of dart competitions on TV, but this is going back, I don't know, 6, 7 years. So like it was not cheerleaders and smoke and right. Pyrotechnics 6 years ago. Like that's new.
Oh yeah. They get to talking crap. They get into it. They've had like physical altercations. How do I know this? I got suckered in and I love it. It's amazing.
No, the only thing missing is goalies.
Yeah, right. Goalies, and then like some way to be able to take the goalie out so you can shoot real quick and get one going.
Well, if you're playing darts, there's a real easy way to take the goalie out.
Oh, true. That's true. Bullseye.
You hit him with a dart.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Nick, were you thinking of Stuck on You with Matt Damon?
That might have been it. It's funny too, because as I was saying it, I quickly Googled it to see if I could find it. And Stuck on You was the one that popped up, and Old School was another one that popped up. That was a tranquilizer dart. That wasn't it. No, I don't know. I don't think it was Stuck on You. And if it was, I would not admit thinking of Stuck on You with Matt Damon without any prompting.
It's got to be the dart in the neck with Will Ferrell in
Gotta be.
Old School.
It's got to be.
It's got to be that.
That must be it. And that was a
Yeah.
tranquilizer dart. That's no fun.
David said they just had the youngest darts champ crown this past week. See, people know darts. Like, it's become popular
Wow.
because of stuff like that.
That is crazy. I loved playing cricket, though. That was my game.
Cricket.
I wasn't into 201. That wasn't my thing. Or 301. But okay, so 301 and cricket. Cricket's my jam. I love
like
it.
cricket.
I do too. But it's like the 201s, the thing that I know about it is like there is a crazy amount of numerical strategy in 301 versus the offense defense play of cricket, right? There's a very give and take offensive defensive play when it comes to cricket beyond just the skill of hitting numbers. But then you go to like 201, it's really funny. There is no defense. It is literally pure offense, race to the finish line. It's like, but the crazy part is you can screw yourself pretty good because you can only win the game by hitting a double of the number that you need to get out. So if you need a 2 to win to get to 301, if you're at 299 and you need to get to 301, right? Or if you're down to 2, rather, you're counting down from 301 down to nothing. If you're at 2, you can't hit a 2. You have to hit a double 1. So you have to hit the outside band of the board in order to win. So it's really interesting how you have to double in and double out. And like, unless you're really good, that can drag things on quite a bit.
Right. David makes a good point, and it depends on the games, but cricket, you play the other player. 501, you play the board.
You are. Yeah, you're playing the board in any of 201, any of the 01s. I don't know what you call that category. So there's 201, 301, 501.
Florida man says the 01 games.
Dude, so hey, listen, Florida man, I'm right there with you. Like, Florida man, I don't know if you grew up and went to school in Florida, but I grew up and went to school in Hawaii, which is dead last out of the education system, even past Florida. So for the two of us, any games that involve quick thinking math and we can't use our fingers out in public, I don't like them.
Well, if that's any indication of the schooling priorities and systems, I would say you turned out okay.
Yeah, I like to think I went through I went through practical application. I went through applied sciences school. Let's put it that way.
There you go. I think that's perfect. That's perfect. All right, now video coming tomorrow, 11 o'clock. You guys, you can check it on Instagram. You can check it out on YouTube. And I was like, hey, Nick, I have this. Can you do this? Nick suited up to film today and take us through the story and situation and frustration of filming today.
It's so funny. I'm always annoyed when I waste. You have a simple task. It's gonna take you 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and then you run into problem, distraction, problem, and next thing you know, it is 2 hours later. You have not done your 5-minute task, and you've been wrestling with trying to figure out a piece of it for over an hour. So when I was shooting, we do a lot of video here, and I've been doing stuff, obviously with like the Insta360 and the little action cameras whenever we go and do stuff down in the shop, or shooting other videos, or we do stuff on a gimbal with like our SLR when we're shooting walk and talk videos, things like that. And I have like a DJI mic that I use for those. It works great connected to my camera, little receiver. So frustration number one, I go today kind of in a hurry, and I connect my little, these guys. So I got this awesome little DJI mic set up. Comes in a little charging case. Love it. And this is what we use like when like the intro walk and talk video, like the commercial style videos. I have one of these little receivers that just sits clipped onto my shirt somewhere, and the mics work great. And what's cool is this little receiver that it comes with. So here's the thing open, charging case, mics. Right. And these are the mics. These are the receivers. So this guy, you can plug it into your iPhone. You don't have to use a cable on it. It's kind of neat. So instead of having a cable go out of the audio jack into a real camera like this, you can take this guy and you slide it into the bottom, and it becomes a iPhone pluggable receiver. So the problem with that, if you're not paying attention and you plug it into your iPhone, it says you need to tell it what kind of an accessory it is. It says, is this a microphone or is this another device? And so my phone's on the table. So I go to push the microphone button, but I hit the other device button. So I then find out after lots of Googling that once you answer that question incorrectly, no amount of rebooting your phone or restarting or factory resetting this device will make it ask you that question again. There's no way to go in and say, forget that device. You have to go into,
can't forget it. That's
no,
crazy.
you have to literally go in and tell it to, you have to restore, erase settings on the iPhone. It's not all the apps. It's not a factory reset, but you can erase network settings as one option. You can erase app settings as another, erase device settings. So you can erase the settings of the device, but then you literally have to go through and answer that question for every single thing you reconnect Bluetooth. It's annoying. So I was like, fine, you know what? I'll use AirPods because they're already connected and they work just fine.
Yep.
And so the last time I was shooting these videos, I was using just Samsung buds with my old Samsung phone. When I was doing like the review of the week videos and those other quick short content videos, that was all before I switched over to iPhone. So I got the AirPods in and I'd shoot a test video and it is super echoey, like real bad. And I'm like, yeah, many levels of reset. So you don't have to reset everything, but when you reset network settings, you do have to reset up everything. Yeah, it's super annoying.
And Nate, he's a former Apple employee too.
Dude, Nate, I'm right there with you. Like, I was like, this cannot be the only way. And I'm like, oh, incremental reset still resets literally every settings. I'm like, okay, this is annoying. So I go to do the AirPods. And then so I do a test video and I listen to it and it's super echoey. And I'm like, what the hell? And I realized that the iPhone front, when you just record video on the camera app on your iPhone, it does not use and will not use the microphone from your AirPods. Which is mind-boggling to me. Even like when you go into the settings of Bluetooth and you say you default it to be microphone, right ear, everything, pop it in, do it, shoot the video. I'm like, it's got to be using it because I hit record and you hear ding in your earpiece. So I'm like, oh, sweet. I hear it in the earpiece. It's got to be working. And then I'm talking into it and I walk away. And Jill's sitting right next to the phone and I ask her a question and play the video back. You can't hear me and you can hear Jill this far from the phone. So I'm like, I Google it. Sure as hell, you need a third-party video app to be able to take audio input from a different device other than your built-in front-facing or bottom-facing microphone. So what I landed on was actually a really cool solution. If you guys remember when we were back, when we got put on the news on Fox 25 in Boston, not Fox 25, CBS, when we got put on WNBC Syndicate, right? Whatever it was. The guys that were out here in the film crew, of course, I took advantage of having a film crew here and asked a million questions. And one of them was about like, what do you guys do when you shoot on your phone? And the guy used this app called Filmic Pro. And it's like $50 a year on one edition, $100 a year on another edition. And it is freaking awesome. Not only can you go in and pick your devices for audio input, Bluetooth, microphone, plugged in devices for audio. It worked with the DJI even after that setting was messed up because you were allowed to just go and select it at the hardware level. But if you look at the amount of options that you have on this guy, like, I'll just open up the interface here real quick and you can see it. Let's see. And, like there's looking at the camera. I mean, this thing is awesome.
That's like, really cool.
Lots of cool audio interface options. And then you can go into here and you can literally color grade the video. Oop, let's get it out of there. Boom. You can color grade the whole thing and give it all the different types of temps and tints and everything that you would normally do in post. You can apply all of that like as you're shooting the video, and lots of different options. So anyway, works very, very well.
Any audio editing or like filters to it or anything?
You can, but they're not so much filters as they are like loots, which is like what you use in, if you're in Premiere or Final Cut Pro and you're editing video. You can apply those as you're recording, which is neat. But then I guess what else I really like about it is being able to do this. So like if you want your encoding, this is your encoding options that you have right there on screen as you shoot your video. So every bit of capability that your phone camera has in it. This thing just gives you straight access to it, as opposed to making you count on the phone, switching between the stuff for you.
Holy crap. I might have to do that. You said like 50 a year?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Wow.
But they try to fool you. It's like they make a bunch of different apps and they're like, subscribe yearly and save $100 a year. And then it's like other options, and you click on it and it's like Filmic Pro only, $50 a year. Filmic Pro plus all these other editing apps and all this other crap, $100 a year. And you're like, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Good, nice try. Not getting me.
Good to know. Good to know.
Dude, it's pretty cool.
Detecting Michigan Boy, that's exactly what we're talking about. That video is going to come out tomorrow at 11 a.m. on this channel. So he's going to show you how to do it. He's going to talk through it and everything. So it's a quick one. It's just about a minute. So yeah, tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. and we'll get that. Now, Leo, I need to know if you're being sarcastic here or not. I don't think you are, because you said seriously, but we're trying to figure out internet sarcasm here. So Leo said, last night I had to reset Wi-Fi, passwords, and DNS several times. Seriously, the most fun I've had in a long time.
Hey, little troubleshooting is always kind of nice, right?
Nope, zero. No, I can think of many more ways I've had fun in a long time than that.
Well, if you want to have a lot of fun, if you're really sick of your Netflix lagging when you try to connect and connect to a new video and it just doesn't load fast enough, you can cache your own Netflix content servers and direct it to the ones that you want based on geo-targeting, not based on utilization. So like you can connect to like the New York content distribution hub if you're up in the Northeast manually, so your videos don't buffer as much and your frame rates go up. Which is pretty cool. So Leo, speaking of DNS, that's the last DNS fun I had. Oh, except for our MX records going out yesterday for Interasec.com. That was fun. I had a bunch of partners saying that our emails were bouncing coming into our email server. And I'm like, what the hell? What do you mean emails bouncing? And I go in and I look and I'm like, oh, what idiot didn't renew the MX record going here on our DNS? Stupid IT guy. Wait, I'm the IT guy. Right. Small company. I do everything. I forgot. Okay, my fault.
Where's the IT guy? What the heck? Dan,
yeah, exactly.
What are you doing?
I'm like, come on. I'm here trying to change the world and take over stuff with network patternistic anomaly detection. And they're supposed to just keep my domain stuff working for me. But lo and behold, no, we have not grown to the size where someone else is doing those things yet. So that's still me.
Come on. All right.
So it was my fault.
Not sarcastic. So that was the most fun he's had in a long time. Man, our brains work different, Leo, and that's so cool. He said, ask Nick about life centered on computers. Nick, tell me about life centered on computers.
I hate computers.
Life centered around computers. Adjacent to computers.
It was just so, Leo, I'm on the phone this morning and I was talking to this guy, brilliant guy named JB, this developer. He's got a British accent and he's hilarious. And then we're working with this other guy named Phil, who's Scottish. So I got a Scottish guy and a British guy on the phone. It's late for one of them, so he's already had pub time. And the other one, he's here in the East Coast now. And so we're getting these guys going, and we have a query running and pulling some stuff out of a database and displaying some data. And this query was just broken. It wasn't working right. And listening to these two guys go back and forth with it. And then finally the Scottish guy just going, oh, I freaking hate computers. But it's like, this is all this guy does. He works on computers. It's like his whole business is, he owns his, he runs a software business. So it's just like, it's just hilarious.
How do you walk out of a meeting like that and not carry the slang and the accent over? I'd be so guilty of terribly doing the accent.
Dude, so like moving around so much growing up, I think you and I have talked about this. Like I used to be so much of a chameleon that I used to accidentally mirror accents if I was around someone too long. And I'd have to constantly tell myself not to do it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I've had to be able to, so Maddox's, many of his soccer coaches are British because they're usually like the best coaches in soccer. It's so hard. Violet literally walks around going, I'm British, Harry Potter. And she like has it. She, without even being taught, she picked up the syllable play and like the alliteration of the British. And it's so funny.
That's hilarious.
It's so funny.
Yeah. And Nate, same here, man. The only people I will give any amount of tech support to are people that like my mom, but even then, my son's 12, he's getting to the point where I can be like, check with Jack and then, give him something to do. if he can't help you, he'll escalate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Nick, just so you get it actually correct next time and you stop putting slander on people's heritage out there, Scottish people are British. They're part of the UK, which is known as Britain. So get it right. There's definitely no difference when we refer
but the
people,
accents are different.
I'm being that's sarcastic. I know it. I know it's different.
So listen here, real CO. All right. All right. All right.
This is me and Leo. Most of our conversations, he corrects me, and then I have to go to like the actual. It's like, yes, you are literally correct in literary terms. You're right. But in practicality, no, people, if you were to say, hey, can you distinguish between a Scottish person and a British person? The answer is yes.
Obviously.
All of us in America can say, oh, you're Scottish. Oh, you're British. Right?
Yeah.
Now, could we say English? Sure. But they're used just interchangeably.
Yeah, they're fair weather nationals too. Look at that. Scots are only British when it benefits the English.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yep. That is so true. That's so true.
It's getting good. I love it.
I do the same thing though, but yeah. I love that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like a Scottish. Yeah. Hey, they're a proud people. Very, very proud. Yeah, a buddy of mine has massive Scottish flag tattoo on his arm. If you called him British, he's not going to be so happy with that.
Yeah. And you know what? My 23andMe, I think, just gives me the right to blanket statement it, because I'm like probably the least diverse person that any of you know.
Wow.
Is like, everyone's got this beautiful like heat map on their 23andMe, like showing this beautiful collage of their family history. Not mine. Like, I opened it up, I thought it was broken. It was one dot. I'm like, okay, still waiting on results, I guess, inconclusive. No, when you click on that, it says 99.9% this, and then you click on that, and it expands to basically like Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. That's it. And and then of that, I think like 60-something% of it is Irish. So it's like mostly Irish, then smattering around there. But yeah, I'm guessing like my genealogy tree looks about like this straw. So not exactly creative people over there.
Interesting that your life was pretty much entirely different than that. You have the most diverse living that out of anybody I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you bring that up. Jack and I were just talking about it last night. I was talking about so my son's 12. For everyone who doesn't know Jack and follow his story vicariously through this stream, he's 12, and he was asking me about, like, I forget what it was, about how many schools I was in by the time I was his age or something like that. But it was funny. I went back and kind of did the math. By the time I was 12, I'd lived in 15 houses, and we had lived in 7 states. So 7 states, 15 houses, and I was not, just about to go into 6th grade, I think, by that point, because that's the number like right before we moved where I went to 6th grade in Maui.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk about all over the place. He was like, oh
dude.
my God.
What's up, Bucky? Got to talk with Bucky yesterday in the stream, and then today. He's an OSU fan, but good dude. Thank you for your service. And he said he was actually in England during the Scottish independence vote, and lots of mixed opinions, even amongst Englishmen. I bet everything's complicated over there. Brexit and the EU, and I mean it's all complicated. And all right, I got a question for the chat. I'm going to pull up my chart that you just said. Like, a lot of people have all these blips all over it. Mine's pretty decently European diverse, right? Decently European diverse. Where do you guys think my top heritage locations are? What would you say, by judging this beautiful work of art, where are my ancestors coming from?
We got to ask the chat, because I will ruin the guesses.
Okay. Chat, where do you think, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring up the whole thing. I've got it up right now.
I'm pulling mine up too.
And a breakdown. So yeah, okay. So we got Ireland in there. Okay. Keep the guesses coming. Germany. All right. Keep them coming, guys. Where are my last name's Command. That is real, by the way. That's not something made up. All right. Eastern. Although we did one for my dog. Nice. You're really tall. Norway. Okay. All right. German. Denmark. Okay. I feel like Denmark has beautiful people. That checks out.
Where has the most modest people living?
Right. I'm not there.
Because let's just rule those out.
Yeah, that one's off the list.
Yeah,
All right.
that's gone.
Let me go ahead and show mine, see where we're at, and see if it surprises you guys at all. So here's my list. So Germanic is number 1. You guys are right. Irish is number 2. All right, Netherlands, England, Denmark, Scottish, and Sweden. I'm pretty much just a European mutt.
Yep. There you go.
That's about it right there, guys. That's me. That's
31% German, though.
What's that?
31%. Is the last name Command? Is that a German name?
I have absolutely no idea.
It certainly feels like it is.
I think I was told, my parents lied to me a lot, but I feel like I was told it was Polish. I grew up thinking I was Polish. Like, dude, we had kielbasa and goulash casserole and Polish roast. Like, I grew up being told my whole life I was Polish. Like, I don't know, maybe not. There's nothing on that map.
So,
right, Command is not German. Yeah, I'll have to find out. And I'm not kidding. I was told I was Polish my whole life. Like, my whole life, that's what I grew up being told. At the same time, also, this is hilarious. Sam was told she was Native American her whole life. I made fun of her our whole time dating before we did any of this. I was like, you're not Native American. Like, you would have documents, and, well, sometimes they don't have documents. Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, we'll find a way to get your college paid for and all this stuff. 0.00% Native American. Like, none. And I told her her whole time she wasn't. So
that is hilarious.
Yep. So that's me, you guys. Got the whole breakdown of this beard. As I said in the video on Sunday, plethora of pigment and cornucopia of colors comes from all of this.
So I love your chart there. See all those nice colors that you have?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You see like how nice that is?
It's like splatted all over.
Yeah, it's really neat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, let's look at mine.
Okay, please. We'll go right from this one to yours.
Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Okay, let's just share this one tab here.
In fun fact, command, there's only one string of commands in the entire world. If there's a command, they are a direct relative of mine, not even like distant or anything. We only have one string of commands, which is crazy. So, okay, let's
look at Dan's nice colorful circle, greens and reds and purples and oranges and blues and all this stuff. He gets all this very diverse blue.
Splat. Just the same color.
Dude,
wow.
97.3% one thing here. We got 60% Irish, just British Irish. And then literally we have like everything else is like these tiny little percentages. So it's like
my biggest was 31. Your biggest is 97. Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's like, so you click on this guy and it's like, okay, Ireland, I guess. Fine. 60% of you.
Yeah.
And it's like the only part that goes out anywhere else is like this northern part of the UK. But basically it's like everywhere else around is just literally just Irish descent.
Yeah. I mean, you got the red. That definitely checks out.
The one. Yeah. What is that? What is the trace ancestry in the red here? Where is the red?
No. I mean, your red in your beard.
Oh, yep, Irish Scottish. Yep, that's definitely it. Yeah, yep. So there we go. That's like the trace ancestries. And the weird thing is I just got a report not too long back about them that says that I have more Neanderthal DNA than 58% of 23andMe customers.
Yeah, you did tell me that, and that checks out. If you've seen his knuckles, they're like that.
Oh yeah, dragging on the ground.
Yep, it's true, and he does have knuckle problems. By the way, guys, no joke there. It's true.
It's funny, and I was looking. One of the conditions that I have in my hands is actually called Viking hand.
Of course. All right, similar story, but not at all similar. You know how you came in and you said gypsy tears? So I said that on stream last night. And then it led to my Borat. Very nice. You'll never get this. This is my wife. All those things. And it led to a bunch of people saying they've never seen Borat. And then our friend Jacob, right? Good friend of mine, Michigander, got to meet him, everything. He said, I've never seen it. Do you recommend? I said, okay, let me explain. Borat is a loaded recommendation. First off, no one better ever go watch it and then get offended and say Dan recommended it. No. With
No.
Borat, I said there is intense male nudity. There is the most harsh humor you can imagine, right? And then I think the intense male nudity may have been in the second one. They kind of blend together, but I said really crude humor. I said if you are easily offended, do not watch that. If you're someone that, do not recommend. Please watch it though. Exactly, Jill. And so we kind of broke it all down, and I'm like, if you like, and I explained, I like Kill Tony. If you like that kind of humor, most of my life is really clean, so it's like my outlet, and it's a joke. I really believe we should have outlets to have jokes and not be so serious all the time. And so Jacob was like, Dan, should I watch it? I said, yes, Jacob, you should watch it. And the verdict is in. And again, I was worried. I was like, because imagine if someone doesn't like that kind of humor and they tune into someone with their sister in a cage talking about them being like a prostitute. So like, it could be pretty mind blowing, right? Here's Jacob's final verdict.
It can be a lot.
It could be a lot. And his final verdict is, okay, Dan, Borat is funny as hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love
it. All right, I win.
Oh, dude. What is it? Is it the second one where he goes to like that rally or like that place in Texas and gets some? Okay, so that's your next one, Jacob, because
second one goes harder. No pun at all, but it is that one. They go far.
Dude, it's so funny. I went to a Big J Okerson stand-up show a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure if we talked about it last week or not.
No, you went to it?
Yeah.
Nice.
A buddy of mine, and I went down and saw him in Boston, and he was like, he was doing crowd work, picking on people in the front row. And if you're at a Big J Okerson show, like you know what you're in for, like
right.
Especially if you're front row, like you don't buy front row seats and not okay.
Do you know his festival name?
And this one lady, he's like, ma'am, he's like, I can see it in your face. He's like, I'm really getting to you. He's like, are you a fan? Did your husband drag you out to this? Is this like a favor? What's he going to have to do to make up for it? And all this kind of stuff. And both the husband and the wife were like, no, we've never seen you before.
Oh.
And he's like, wait a minute. He's like, did you watch anything on YouTube after you got the tickets? No. And he's like, listen, he's like, me being me, like, I think I can be a lot if dropped in with no, prerequisite study. And he's like, so this is the best part. He's like, so what caused you to buy front row tickets to a stand-up comic that you've never seen before?
Yeah.
The answer was they were free. And he looks down at them and he's like, you people were put here just to hurt me. Like, as a professional comedian, my front row seats are being given away for free to people who don't know who I am. This is clearly the pinnacle of my career. Thanks a lot, Boston.
I just watched Kill Tony from like 2 weeks ago when they had Sam Talent, who's actually a personal friend of mine, which is crazy.
Yeah. He's so good.
He lives like 20 minutes from me. It's nuts.
He's amazing.
And then obviously Ari Shafir was on. Well, there was a lady in the front row that dressed in a certain way that was causing attention, right? And it was not her idea to be at this show. It was her boyfriend's idea.
Yeah.
And she got a lot of attention from the comedians all night based on her attire. And I cannot imagine
I would say more based on her anatomical disposition.
Yes. I wasn't going to go there, but yes, absolutely. And I'm hoping she came around to it by the end of the night. I can't imagine not having fun.
I sure hope so.
But if she didn't, can you imagine that conversation with the boyfriend that made her go to that show and that was the end result?
Oh, he was definitely going to see Wicked, just like Tony said afterwards to make up for it. He's like, you're going to sit your ass through 3 hours of Wicked and just to make up for this one night of bringing her here.
I do need to say, full disclosure, breaking stereotypes and stigmas, Wicked was really good. Like legitimately good. I was ready for the best 3-hour nap of my life. We got the recliner seat, movie theater and everything. I was loaded, had a coat that I was going to bundle up in. Dude, I was glued. It was great. It was a good movie.
Oh man, okay. Mad. Well, look at that. I've never been a musical person myself, but
me either. But this was good. The coolest thing about that musical is it was not recorded in a studio. They filmed it live on set is where they got all the audio for it. Really cool.
That's pretty
I
cool.
like talented singers. So,
yeah, for sure. No, but dude, that episode was fantastic. Like I literally looked at Jill at one point though, and this is as racy as I'll get about the discussion that was happening at the beginning of that episode.
Yeah.
I was leaving the room at one point and I was just listening to it because I had to run downstairs for something while I was playing. And I literally stopped and I was like, at what point does this change from a stand-up show to just like group sexual harassment?
It was like, I mean,
at one point, even I was like, listen, I love that. I loved Kill Tony. I get it. I get the shtick, the type of humor. Like I get the person that goes there. But there was one point where I was like, this is a lot even for this show a little bit. Like you guys need to stop.
I thought the same thing. I was like, and I'm conflicted because if you're going to a comedy show and you're sitting front row, you are opening yourself up to everything that comes your way.
Like if you or I sat front row in Austin at Kill Tony, we can definitely guarantee that it would not be 30 minutes of compliments about our beard in the front row.
Correct.
Because compliments are not funny.
Right.
They would talk about the food that's stuck in it, how it must smell terrible. Does it get, you know what I mean? Like, oh, have you made any more wizard friends since you've been in Austin?
Exactly.
Like it would be never ending ridicule and it would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're there for.
And she did choose the outfit. There was other things you could have, and I don't want to, you know, but, and so it's like I am conflicted, right? You went to the show, but I agree. It's like it was a point where it's like, okay, we got it. And if I put myself in his shoes, very uncomfortable to be the boyfriend, you know.
Dude, yeah,
very uncomfortable.
Like, oh man, yeah, this is.
But hey,
if you make it through that one.
Right.
You know, that's one of those things that really just proves your relationship is worth its salt. You know what I mean? It's like if you make it through that, you can make it through just about anything.
And some people are into different things. So who knows? All right. We are going to hit the random wheel of tangents. But to begin, I'll put the offer out to you, Nick. We can spin it and let the tangent world do its work. Or since we just got done talking about Borat, Kill Tony, Jay Okerson, if you have a Cracker Nasty story loaded and ready, we can keep that Cracker Nasty energy going, or we can just let the universe do what it will.
Let's give it a spin.
Okay.
And if we don't land on it, let me kind of marinate here because I did not come with one preloaded today, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't find some inspiration here quickly.
Okay. So I did not add any new topics, you guys, because we've had a few of these on the board for several weeks now. And so once we narrow these down, if you want to get your random topics you want covered by us in the chat, it's going to be on our Instagram, the Dr. Nick's Amazing Man Stuff Instagram. So check that out and you'll be able to go over there and submit some. Let it spin, baby.
Let's get it.
And again, these are all submitted by viewers and you guys. Okay. All right. So this was a random one. And Nick is a car guy, so he wants to, and I don't think he'd mind me saying, I think this was submitted by our buddy Nick. I haven't seen him in the chat today, so I'll have to tell him that he got on. But he wants to know your thoughts on loud aftermarket exhaust.
That it heavily depends. That is a it depends question.
Really? Tell me how it depends, because in my mind, I've never met a human that's had a loud aftermarket exhaust where I felt it add value to their vehicle or I liked them in any way, shape, or form.
So this is why I say it depends.
Okay.
So
I'm
you remember my old, like when you came up to visit, you remember before it got totaled, my SRT, right?
The Blazer?
Yeah, the Jeep, the SRT, the black one.
Oh, yeah.
Nice and grumbly, right? Nice and grumbly. It sounded beefy.
Yeah.
That was aftermarket exhaust, the second loudest out of 6 options, and was made by Borla. And so this is why I say it depends. There is a time, a place, and a thing in the sound. Like there is all the things that matter. So did I go for the Borla that had the loudest exhaust? No, right? That's obnoxious. Did I go for the quietest one that makes it sound like stock? No, I wanted to hear it. So you tune it to where it's going to sound good. You're going to hear it. It's going to sound throaty and beefy and sound, it's going to give you the rumble that you want. It's going to sound great. My K5 Blazer, it's got aftermarket exhaust on it. It's got custom made, hand hammered exhaust. It's got resonators on it, and it's you can hear it, but it sounds fitting. It sounds good. I didn't take a 350 small block V8 and put cherry bombs on it and try to make the thing sound like a drag car, cracking all over the place and just obnoxiously loud, like open header sound. That's where you go from the concourse down to the redneck Riviera, right? That's the difference. Like, there is concourse quality muscle car exhaust, beefy truck exhaust, and all of them. Now, then you get the Tampa effect. No offense. This is. I lived in Tampa for a long time, and that's why I call it the Tampa effect, because
Shots fired, Florida man.
Listen, Florida man, you're going to agree with me on this one because you live around it, and you're like, so cutouts. I have cutouts on my old shop top. I love them because you're sitting there, you go down the street somewhere at a car show, open up your exhaust, it sounds great. But so where loud exhaust starts pissing me off is the fart can exhaust on the 4-cylinder engines, right?
Yep.
Like, I do not need to hear 120 decibels of your Acura Integra. I just don't. I don't. Like, I don't care that your Subaru can spit sparks on its backfire with your dual shot ignition. I really don't.
Those are what comes to mind for me.
I know it is, and that's
your
what
vehicle. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's unfortunately there's this whole, like, you can go and strap on just crappy mufflers and exhaust to any car, make it sound loud and terrible.
That makes sense.
And unfortunately, that is aftermarket exhaust. Done properly, I think aftermarket exhaust is a necessity for any kind of performance car because it goes beyond what they're allowed to sell them on our factory because of emissions in the EPA. So, they choke down these cars that are meant to sound good. You buy a brand new, you buy a red eye Challenger, right? You got a Hellcat engine in that thing with a supercharger. You got 700 horsepower. Unfortunately, they're not allowed to sell it with exhaust that actually lets that engine breathe properly. So you have to put on aftermarket exhaust and headers to hear it, not only just to let the thing run properly.
So let this noob of automobiles, which I've never claimed to know or care about automobiles, but let me know. So I guess I'm so tarnished because the kid across the street from me has a clip-on thing that's on his stupid, like, I don't even know what kind of little box car it is, but it's a clip. It, like, clips on his exhaust. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Is it a whistle?
I think so.
Oh God, don't even get me started on the whistles. Like, whistle tips are their whole own thing, and those were started in Tampa, Florida. I'll have you know.
Oh.
And they became popular because you got that whistle tip. Like, that's what you want, like, down there in, like, in the ghetto, dude. That's like, if you were gonna be cool, you needed that whistle tip on your exhaust on your Cadillac. Oh. But it's so I'd say there's any exhaust that you replace in a vehicle is considered aftermarket. So, right, it's aftermarket done. And I think there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Unfortunately, just like most things in life, there are more people doing it wrong than there are doing it right. And unfortunately, when you think aftermarket exhaust, you think loud 4-cylinder 3 Series BMW lowered down to the ground where it's not even drivable and it's obnoxiously loud. It hurts your ears.
Okay. Now, I think I know the answer to this, but with an aftermarket exhaust that's done right, is there performance value to it, or is it purely sound?
Oh no, huge performance.
Okay. My frame of reference was wrong going into this.
Yeah, because engines need, atmospheric pressure and back pressure to run properly. And the part of that equation from the back pressure part is 100% dictated by the outflow of the gases. So it's all exhaust based between headers, cats, mufflers, and exhaust. Both shape and size of the tubing matters, right? It's a pretty crazy science.
Okay. All right.
But just so you know, like, on that Jeep I had, if you didn't do anything else to it, that thing came stock with like 500 horsepower and that Borla exhaust, just because of removing the suitcase sized mufflers that come on that thing that are literally called the suitcase. You pull the suitcases out of it and you swap out. I put headers and exhaust all Borla in that thing, and it gained 45 horsepower.
Wow. So, okay. Yeah, I have learned. My reference was wrong. I didn't know that it could do that. So okay. All right.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
question. Thank you. Thank you,
Oh,
Nick.
I love that one.
All right. Let's hit here for the next one. That was cool. I did not know where that was going to go. All right.
I was almost
Okay.
hoping it was Cracker Nasty because there's a good story about that has to do with aftermarket exhaust and Cracker Nasty. So maybe we'll save that
Jeez.
one for later here.
All right. So somebody wanted to know specifically the benefits of natural body wash, meaning they've bought just the Axe body wash, I believe is the brand they said, and they saw that you advertise natural body wash. In what ways is a natural body wash better than the like drugstore one that most of us grew up on?
So there's the serious public facing answer to that. And then there's the, oh my God, so many things. It's, like there's that part of it, right?
Okay.
So I would say the diplomatic response to that question is that, one, you're using the obvious question, right? You're using natural ingredients as opposed to lab created chemicals to wash your skin. Your skin's the largest organ on your body. It's the largest surface area you have in your body. The largest single organism that communicates to itself in your body is your skin, aside from your nervous system, right? So it's like you think about that, and it's like, you look at just the idea of stripping oils off your skin is what most big box store detergent based body wash soaps are going to do, right? They're using either surfactants or they're using solvents that are skin safe to some extent, to basically, to strip and eliminate any oils, salts, debris, dirt off your skin. And with a natural body wash, the biggest benefit in my mind is that you're counting on the natural oils of your skin emulsifying and blending with the oils of this natural body wash and then rinsing away from your skin, with bringing salt, extra oils, and things with it, odor, sweat, etc., but without stripping your skin with any sort of detergent, right? So the biggest thing in my mind is you can think of like Axe and Old Spice and any Dove and all those other kind of body washes out there. Those are very much detergent based products. And until 10 years ago, they were actually categorized in the same category as Dawn dish soap from a skin safe and usability standpoint.
Literally.
They were classified the same as dish soap and detergent. And so, it's all of those are going to be very, very similar in the sense that those are going to be stripping, they're going to be removing. And then if they are leaving anything behind, they do it with a lot of things in my mind that are way outside of what you should be putting in your skin, such as silicones and alcohol solids and glycerins and glycols to be able to impart any sort of moisture in your skin. And I think some of those ingredients are okay, so long as the main point of the body wash is to have an oil that blends with your natural oils, leaves behind beneficial oil, and doesn't strip your skin. And hopefully it gets close to the pH that you want. So ours is very, very pH balanced, right? We're right at an 8, which is not going to be too stripping. It has a good amount of oil left in it that's going to impart residual oils in your skin. It's also going to really work from a surfactant standpoint to be able to lift the oils and salt and debris, dirt off your skin without using any kind of detergent to strip your skin to get those things out. So we're not dissolving oil, and stripping it off your skin. We're working with the natural chemistry of your skin.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, final one, your call if you want to hit that Cracker Nasty story, or we let it spin.
Let's let it spin, and if it lands there, that's just a happy accident.
Love it.
We got a 1 in 3 chance.
Yeah. If it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. Okay, interesting. So, and this one is layered, and I'll lead my thoughts on this and then kick it to you. But it's the value of college nowadays. So somebody wanted to know, like, with your kids, they're talking to us, do you value college? So for me, I have a very specific take. I believe it depends on the kid and what career they're interested in. If they would like to be in America, an actual doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, or other areas that require specific certifications from college, right? From specifically going there, you cannot teach in the United States at a real public school or most private schools without having not only your certificate, but also you need to be able to get a bachelor's degree in what you're teaching, right?
Mhm.
We can go into the difference of like an attorney and a lawyer, but that's for another time. So I think if there's a specific career that requires it, yes. Otherwise, I am horrifically against college. I have 0.00. And by the way, I have a bachelor's and 2 master degrees. So this is coming from experience. And I was a teacher for 12 years with seeing kids go to college, coming back, and all that kind of stuff. I would really, 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 really hope my kids do not want to go down the college route. I don't care if it's them being professional soccer players, YouTubers, authors, businessmen and women, entrepreneurs. I would much rather go through the school of hard knocks, the school of life, the school of experience and travel, and help guide them through that rather than send them off to a college for a multitude of reasons. But the biggest being, I didn't get much out of college for me specifically, outside of learning how to research properly. It did teach me that. Understanding what like the different forms of bias are when you're researching, and I got all that. But then also just being able to jump through hoops and complete hurdles and get the job done, which is valuable, right? If you have to get this done by a certain amount of time, there's a skill in being able to figure that out. But outside of that, I am not of the blanket where my age, right? Nate is my age. A few other people are my age, where it was the only thing we were told. Literally, if you were okay in school, the only thing I was told was college. I also ate 100% of my college fees. My parents didn't help with a penny, nothing. No one helped. And it's crazy as someone who was 17 years old, literally at the time, signing my student loans, not realizing there was another option out there. I was only told one option, and I was told you have to pay for it. And so it's a fear of mine for my kids to ever feel that kind of pressure, and to feel that pressure as someone who can't even legally vote, who can't drink alcohol, who couldn't smoke cigarettes, but I had to sign a contract that will never go away. The only thing that really can ever impact your student loan debt is death. And so I do not see as much value as my parents did, as many other people did. So that's my take on it. It's nothing political, nothing crazy. It's just, no, I hope they don't go to college.
Dude, same. So I agree in so very many ways. I have a very different experience where I didn't go to college and have no degrees. But I think it's only because I identified my other options sooner, maybe. Right. And also was not academically fit to go to college anyway. But beside the things that you talked about, I agree 100%. Like if you're going into a profession that requires a degree, if you're going to be a doctor, you want to be a surgeon someday, I'd very much not like a street knowledge surgeon. Right.
Absolutely.
Perfect. A great example, and a perfect example of what higher education should be.
Yes.
Right. It should be more specific, and not even called higher education really. But if you think about it, things that require like, science degrees, you want to be a biologist, you want to be a chemist, right? You want to work on cancer research, you want to be a doctor, all these sorts of things. That is what college is for. And that's what college should be focused on, is those very specific science and arts and practices that require such education. I believe what you're referring to as the blanket statement of everyone goes to college as their next phase of education is a criminal financial vehicle that large institutions are using to profit off of the ignorance of our youth. And I think it absolutely should be illegal, and it should be, the debt should be wiped for so many people. And I'm not saying that the debt should be wiped and we should go and be socialists and wipe everybody's debt. No, don't go thinking that I'm talking out of that direction at all.
Predatory loans,
predatory
lending is very different.
Absolutely. It's a whole different topic, but it is a whole different topic, and you're dead on. Title loans, payday loans, all this stuff that's available out there for people, this predatory lending in the secondary market. Think about it though. Scream that, dude. Nate, I'm right there with you, dude. What literally gets me the most is you look at the underbelly of what this is. It's a bond market. What they're doing is they're turning humans into meat sack bond feeders that are basically feeding a market that is never going to benefit anyone but 1% of us or the federal government. And so why are you going to make packages of debts for millions of dollars in loans and sell those as bonds and be able to sell those as packaged loan vehicles to other servicing companies?
Which they're
Like,
doing again right now. I have a
they're-
new service
they're
lending
turning it
company
over.
for my 6-figure loans.
Of course. And get this, the last one that can claim bankruptcy in that financial market, you can claim bankruptcy and not pay any taxes on the service fees that you've made servicing loans for up to 5 years. And then you're allowed to rebrand and under a bankruptcy filing, open up another loan servicing company that can then inherit the debt and buy it from your other company with a loan, with another loan.
And there's nothing I can do as the person with the loan.
Watch The Big Short. Right? Watch the movie The Big Short. It talked about the 2008 market crash of real estate, and just swap real estate and those bad credit loans to the education space, because the people that are getting qualified for arguably just the same sized loans that people were getting in 2008 for houses, except guess what they were missing? Collateral. Right? Education loans don't have collateral. What are they going to do? They're going to take back your degree if you don't pay them? No. You don't pay a home loan, at least you can liquidate the house.
Right.
With college education loans, they can't. It's the most criminal financial vehicle that the bond market uses in the United States to make money. It's ridiculous.
And you sign it when you're 17 or 18 years old.
Of course, because you wouldn't sign a contract with such language in it at any other point in your life unless you were completely just insane.
Yeah, no cosigner, nothing for me.
No.
Like my nothing. Like it's crazy.
All funny money, man.
So, yep, you are the collateral on the college plane. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, think about that one.
Yep. All right, so you guys got to tune in and stay tuned. Next week we might have at least one Cracker Nasty story. I think we can commit to that.
We can.
But maybe multiple. We'll see. We'll see what's going on here. And just a reminder, you guys, tomorrow, and trust me, we're already 4 minutes over. I wish time didn't go by so fast. Nick's looking down at the clock like, what the hell? Yeah, we're overtime right now. But tomorrow, 11 o'clock, right on this YouTube channel, video by Nick. Please check it out. Leave a comment. Do all that stuff. This is the year of growth for Dr. Nick's, especially on the social media side. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We always feel seen. We always feel heard. We always feel a part of a community. And I know I can speak for Nick. We leave these streams just fired up, and probably our most productive time period is like Tuesday afternoons, because I'm just juiced. I'm not kidding you. I'm just like, woo, let's go. So Nick, take it away. Talk to these people so I can go get some work done.
I'm right in the same boat. I gotta go get some food done. I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything yet.
I'm stuffed.
Woo, I'll tell you, yeah, exactly. Cute Doba man over here. Anyway, we don't want to be in that basement. Anyhow.
3 cheese nachos hit different.
Woo. Well, with that, we will see you guys next week. Yes, Cracker Nasty Stories. Oh, also keep your eye out on Instagram. We're going to be doing a little clearing. We're going to do a little seasonal house cleaning here. Keep your eye on Instagram. We will be posting it later this week when it's live. Probably only less than 20 of the bundles available, but for the lucky few that are able to snag it, we're going to be doing a ridiculous deal on a bundle, which is going to be a Yule Tree oil, a Yule Tree body wash, a Yule Tree beard wash, and 2 Yule Tree beard conditioners, all in a packaged price that is probably well over 50% off retail pricing when it's all put together. So keep your eye out for that. It'll be limited, but we'll drop it on Instagram when it is live.
And Facebook, if you check out the Facebook, we'll put it on there too.
On the socials, we'll put it on. We'll put it out in the social spheres.
Yeah.
But yeah, see you guys next week for episode 124.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a great Tuesday. Woo!